hope you're okay. Welcome back to my channel, and hello if you are new here. So as you can see from the title, I bet you're all thinking at the moment like, oh my god, what is this all about? Like, what is Laura talking about now? What is she exposing? What's going on? And yeah, today's going to be an exposing video, and I'm actually going to be exposing Canon today, telling you all about the issues I've had with my camera, the customer service and the company as a whole. I feel like I need to do this video because I only feel like it's right to you guys, for you to know about this. Like, if I can help someone else not have to go through the same issues that I have had and lose £550 out of their pocket, that for me will have been a job done right. I don't want anyone to have to go through what I've been through. It's disgusting. It shouldn't be happening in 2018, and you guys need to know. I feel like nowadays so many big companies just use their reputation as a big company, use that in a way where they can just get away with things, and it's not on at all, and we need to talk about it. So if you want to hear my issues with Canon, the G7x Mark II, and basically me spilling the tea on what's been going on, then continue watching. Let's talk about the issue with this camera. So if you guys don't know already, but this is the Canon G7x Mark II flip screen. It's a sort of like vlogging camera, the vlogging camera of like 2018 and probably forever actually. Every single YouTuber I know near enough uses this camera. Like, it is so hyped about, it's so raved about, and to be honest with you, for good reasons. It's a good camera. I love this camera. I've had this camera since December and I've had no issues. It's a brilliant camera. Before this I was using the Sony a5100, and I've got to say, this is better than that. It really is. This is why I find it so disappointing that I have to actually film this video, because as a camera on a whole, it's great. It's a great little camera, really good picture quality, you know, like I said, really good stabilization, low lighting. There's so many good things about this camera. However, the company that have the name on this camera, Canon, now they're a different story. Like, I don't even know where to begin with them. Let's talk about the issue with my camera first. So as I mentioned, I had this camera for 6 months. I bought it in December last year from Very, which if you don't know, they're just like an online site that sell electricals, beauty, hair stuff, clothes, and loads of stuff. So yeah, as I mentioned, had no issues with this camera, was really happy with the camera. And then we got to June, and then one day the screws actually fell out. I think I managed to find one that dropped on the floor. But yeah, they are that tiny. Where even are they? Look, they're there. They're that tiny. You are not going to get to find them. They're that minute. First things first, let me just tell you a bit about this design. So as you can see, there is a flip screen. There's actually a 3D flip screen on this camera. Now, I'm not a camera technician, as you guys know, but even I can just see that from this design, you've only got 2 tiny screws here, and that is supposed to hold this camera together. Like, that's supposed to hold this bit here and then this heavy flip screen out there. So you can imagine if someone's using this camera on a daily basis for vlogging like I do, these screws are definitely not going to be able to keep hold of that. Like, you don't even need to be a technician or an Einstein to know that. It's just common sense really. Like, how can 2 minute screws hold together this whole section of the camera? You know, to be honest with you, it was never something I'd thought about initially because I didn't have the problem. So that was the first issue. After the screws had actually fell away from connecting my flip screen to the camera, there is then a thin strip that connects the camera, essentially. So it connects the LCD screen to the camera. So this is actually all intact when I sent the camera away from repair, and when I was turning my camera on initially, it was just sort of flickering. So obviously the connection was becoming loose because there was no screws to hold my screen up. So that's where we was at, and that's how my camera was before we sent it. No other issues about the camera. Everything was fully functioning. This was working perfectly fine. And like I said, you could turn my camera on, it would come on, the screen would come on. It was all working, it was just flickering. I was like, oh god, I really want to send my camera away. And obviously for a job I do YouTube, so I need a camera. I did a little Instagram post about my issues, and Canon got straight in touch with me via social media and said, hey, like, we want to sort this issue out. Please send your camera away to us. We'll send you a loan camera out, obviously for YouTube, and we'll get this fixed for you. Like, we don't want this to be an issue. Like, we'll get it fixed. So it all sounded so positive. So obviously I was like, oh cool, like, they're gonna sort it out. I knew I had a year's warranty anyway. So for me, because this wasn't my problem, you would think that this would be covered under warranty, because I've not done anything to the camera, I've not dropped it, I take very good care of it, and the screws just fell out and obviously causing issues to my LCD screen, which, you know, is going to happen if nothing's holding the screen together. Sent the camera away, had my loan one from Canon. Then I get the first email back from Canon about my camera, and this is what they have said. I'm going to put a copy here so you can see. So, the following repairs and spare parts necessary because of located defects. So they have said, number 1, warranty voided due to damaged LCD. So first of all, it says that the warranty is voided due to the damaged LCD. But then it says here, upon inspection, please note camera found to have use of force and sand damage. So it's like they're trying to list 3 different things of why they cannot repair this camera under warranty. So first of all, they're saying voided due to damaged LCD. So the damaged LCD, like we've just already spoken about, is caused because of the screws falling out. So that's not my issue. Second of all, we have sand damage. Okay, like, I don't live near a beach, I don't take this near sand, and even if there was sand damage or specks of sand or whatever they're trying to say, how does that cause screws to fall out of the camera? Like, can anyone tell me? Because I certainly don't understand how sand causes screws to fall out of a camera. Do you guys know? So yeah, that's second one. And then they've said use of force. So what are they trying to say? That I've pulled off the back of this so that the screws fall out? And again, how ridiculous does that even sound? Like, really? For the screws to fall out, you're going to have to really tug the camera, and I think more would come away than just the screws, to be honest with you, if you try to do that. So again, another ridiculous reason by Canon to try and void the warranty. And then they go on and on and on about different things about I need repairing, and the total quote is £301.13 plus delivery back to me. So we're looking at around £350 to have my camera repaired because of an issue that is clearly a manufacturer / faulty mechanism. So I did some researching because I just thought I cannot be the only person with this issue. I actually saw on Instagram a week before my camera having this problem, another YouTuber uploading with the same problem. So I went on a little investigation, and this is what I found about this camera. I'm going to include these various tweets on screen now. So the first one I found is, I can't see a name because I've actually cut it off, but I'll pop it here. And she said, hi, my G7x Mark II screws that hold my screen in place fell out and disappeared. Is there any way I can get a new screw? And there's actually a picture, as you can see on the screen now, with her camera with the missing screws. And then in response to that, she's had numerous people say, I saw this happen to another YouTuber. I think they use eyeglass screws. Another person responded to this saying, did Canon help you with this? The parts department said they couldn't assist me. I then found another person on Twitter called Brogan. I actually follow Brogan actually on YouTube, and she had the same problem. Canon, I've lost a tiny screw in the back of my Canon G7x Mark II. Where can I get another one? I have warranty with John Lewis. Another person called, hello, had a hard time communicating with your phone employee. I needed G7x Mark II screw. How can I get one? And then another person, Canon, this screw fell off my G7x Mark II. Does anyone know how to replace it or find another screw that will help? This one called Mike. Can anyone tell me where to get a replacement screw? Canon G7x Mark II, the one from the bottom right screen hinges fallen out. And then we've got one from Angela. My camera is about 2 screws away from falling to pieces. Canon basically said not a problem, so that's awesome. And then we've got another one from Kenzie. Someone lost the screws in my Canon G7x. Anyone know how I can replace these? Joe, the screws have fallen out my Canon camera and now the screen is falling off. And it goes on, guys. I'm not going to keep boring you with all these, but just there I've honestly listed about 6 or 7 off. There was about 50 to 100 that I found, and that wasn't me just searching the whole internet. That was just like me reading off the first few that come in the search engine. So as you can see from all of them tweets, it is clearly not just me that is having this issue with the Canon camera. There is numerous people there that have all said that the screws have fell out the back of the camera. So how is it that Canon are not accepting this as a manufacturer fault? Does anyone know the answer? Because I'd love to know. So I obviously rang Canon back and had a little chat with them about the repair statement that they sent to me, and obviously I went through it and all the points I've just said to you guys, like how is it voided due to sand? How does the sand damage cause the screw to come out? Use of force, like come on, like why would I rip my screen off when my job is to be a YouTuber? Like why would I rip the screws out? Like that just doesn't make sense. And also you're saying you're voiding the warranty due to a broken LCD screen, which is because of the screws falling out. And what was actually so funny on the phone is that the woman eventually turned around to me and told me that they did know about the screw problem and said that, oh yeah, like we are aware of the screw problem now, when they are being sent for repair we're having to use a stronger glue to keep them in now. I then obviously said, okay, so you've actually just finally admitted that you know there's a problem with your screws, so then why the hell are you avoiding my warranty? Like how is that correct? Like how is that possible? No, you're saying that you don't know about the issue, but now you're saying you do know about the issue. It's sort of like they went back on the word, and then I think she realised what she said and she was like, oh well, we might be able to get your screws repaired, let me just go and find out. And anyway, she ended up coming back to me and saying that as a goodwill gesture they would be happy to fix my screws. But obviously then my argument is, so okay, you can fix the whole screen because the LCD screen is broken because of the screws falling out. They were not having none of it. They were literally like, no, we're not fixing the LCD screen, that's not our problem, we will happily repair the screws, but we're not doing the screen. They just wouldn't have it. Like anything I said, they didn't have a comeback, but at the same time they was just like, we're not doing anything about it, like game over. I was furious. Like you can imagine, £550 camera, and I've got a warranty with it. There's so many other people having this problem. They're not willing to help me. So with no response from Canon themselves, and they were sort of just saying that's it, we're not going to sort it, I then rang up Very, so that's where I bought the camera from. So they said to me, right, you need to get the camera back from Canon in the unrepaired state, and then we will have to investigate this further on our line and try and get a resolution and sort this out for you, because obviously that does sound like a manufacturer fault, and we will try our best on our end because you're not getting any luck with Canon. So then ring up Canon Repair Centre again, said to them, right, I need the camera back in the unrepaired state, the screws can't be in, so please like put a note just to say that I don't want the screws put in it, I just want it back in the unrepaired state. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is what I've had sent back to me. I don't even know where to start with this one because it just gets worse. This story honestly just gets worse and worse and worse. They sent me the camera back even more broken than it ever was, girls. Like when I saw my camera, I was literally heartbroken. I thought, is this an absolute joke? My camera wasn't even in this state when I sent it. Okay, so the first thing I'm just going to show you is what happens now when I turn it on. Can you see that? Like it won't actually go back in to, I don't know what that's called, I'm not very technical, but the lens won't go back in. Like it just stays out now. It was never a problem with my camera. He never flagged that up. It was never an issue. The lens was absolutely perfect, like it was just fine, there was nothing wrong with it. So now the lens just doesn't go back in, it just does that when I turn it on. That was the first issue that obviously I immediately saw when I got my camera back. I was like, what the hell, like that was not even a problem initially. And then the second thing is, they only went and put the screws back in my camera, and I've got all of this like glue stuff all over my camera as well, if you can just see that, like focus that in. So yeah, there's all these like marks on it, and they've actually glued the screws back in, which I told them not to. I said, please don't glue the screws in because I need to send it to Very. They need to be able to see it in the unrepaired state and the state it was when I sent it to Canon. So that was two issues, and then to add to that, the third issue, girls, is that as you can see here, let me just show you this. There's like a little, can you just see that? It basically connects the LCD screen to the actual Canon camera itself, so it gives all the power to the screen. So when you turn it on, that's what's sort of sending the power to the LCD screen. It's like a little strip that was fully connected into like here into the camera, because as I mentioned, I could turn my camera on and get power to my screen. It was just flickering. That was the only issue. Strip is now disconnected. Like they full on disconnected the strip, teared it off, don't know what they've done, but I now get no power to my screen whatsoever. Obviously I was absolutely fuming, so upset by this, and rang Canon again and said, you know, I want to speak to someone, I've had my camera sent back, there's a few issues wrong, not just the fact that you put the screws in, which I said not to do, but also I've now got further issues with my camera that I didn't have before. The guy on the phone was actually quite nice. He said he'd investigate into it because obviously it was out of order, it shouldn't be happening, and you know, he wanted to get a resolution. I then left it because he said he'd call me back. Didn't hear nothing from him for the whole week, which I just want to add while I'm speaking about this. Canon is so poor with their customer service. They say they're going to ring you back and they never do. I've honestly spent 6 weeks of my time ringing and chasing continuously. They always say, we'll call you back, they never do. Honestly, if it wasn't for you chasing, they would just leave it. That's literally how their service is. So it come to the Friday, rang on the Monday, and I thought, oh my god, I've still not heard from him. So I rang again, and they didn't even have on record that I rang. Like, they didn't even have it under investigation. And so again, I'm speaking to a new operator, having to tell my whole story, which takes like half an hour, as you guys know. So yeah, when I spoke to the advisor on the phone, he said that we needed to get the camera back in for investigation because obviously it's been sent to me back in an even worse state, which I didn't really want to do because, like I said to him, like, I feel like they're fobbing me off already. What are the chances of them actually admitting to them causing further damage to my camera, you know? So he said, well, you know, I'm going to send you the repair labels, like I think you just send it back to us and then we can look at it and then we can take it from there. I come off the phone to him and said, okay, like, we'll do that then if that's what you think is the best action to take, because obviously I want this resolved. result. And then within a day, so this was on the Friday, so I was gonna like do it on the Monday, but then before I actually sent my camera out on the Monday, I had a phone call from the senior advisor at the repair centre, and she said, oh, we noticed that you rang up on Friday. I wanted to offer you 3 solutions to the issue, because I've been told that your camera is now been returned in a like unfit state. She said the first thing you can do is you can send the camera back and we will take the screws out so that you can send it to Very. The second thing we can do is offer you discount, which, hello, like, you're gonna offer me discount. Like, why would you offer me discount? Because you know you're in the wrong. Like, that's what infuriated me so much when she said the word discount. And then the third thing she said she could do was send me a written letter owning up and admitting that it was their fault that they put the screws back in. So obviously I just said, I don't want obviously to send my camera back to you because it takes that long. No, I don't want you to untake the screws out, that's just long. And then secondly, discount. I don't want discount. I want my money back or a new camera. Like, no, there's no way I'm accepting any sort of discount from you, because that is like me then just backing down and have, you know what I mean? There was no way, no. And then the third obviously issue, I just said, yeah, I'll be more than happy to receive an email, so then that will just shorten the length of time I've got to go back and forth, and I can just send that with my camera to Very for them to investigate. So this was the email she sent to me, so basically admitting we've got the proof in the pudding right here. I'm going to put it on screen. I would like to advise you that even though you advised us not to replace missing screws in the LCD screen, so you can seek assistance from Very, by the time we had informed the technician, it was too late. Therefore your camera was returned with screws on the LCD screen. Obviously I spoke to her about the other issues, and she said on the phone that the reason why the lens is now not working is because they have to open up the camera, and when they've opened up the camera there was a few specks of sand, which now they've put the camera back together has caused the what's this called, lens not to work. But to me that's just disgusting. Like, I was never told that if I sent my camera there there was a chance that it was going to come back more damaged. Like, how does that even happen? Like, there was nothing wrong with this. It was working absolutely fine at the beginning. There was no problems, and now it is an issue, and now my lens won't go back in. So I was like, well, that's absolutely disgusting. If it wasn't an issue, like, how is it an issue now? And we were just going back and forth again, and she just wasn't being any useful about that. So anyway, phoned down on her and then phoned up to Very. And Very actually said to me that Very actually said to me at this point that they only actually send the camera back to the repair centre. So I was thinking, oh, so that actually isn't even going to work. Like, I'm going to send my camera to Very, they're just going to send it to the repair centre, and we're going to be back at stage 1 yet again. Yeah, so that was that. So I was a bit like, oh, I don't even know what to do, because if I send it to Very I'm not going to get anywhere. So I thought, right, let's still keep on at Canon. So I actually rang the customer complaint centre, spoke to them on the Monday. I got told I'd get a call back, never got a call back. I then rang them up again, had to re-explain my whole story again to someone, told I got a call back, never got a call back. So this was the second time. Bearing in mind I'm taking hours out of my day to chase this company up and speak to them and try and get a resolution. I then spoke to another person and said, hey, like, it's been a week, I've been ringing up on 2 occasions now, I got told I was going to have a call back from someone and nothing. So he was really apologetic. Actually, he was like really helpful, like probably the most helpful advisor that I got through to, and he said, you'll definitely have someone speak to you, like, I'm going to put this straight on the list, like, we want to get this sorted. And then Monday morning I get a phone call, and guess who it's from? The repair centre technician that I've been speaking to and having nothing but issues and rude conversations with for the past 4 to 6 weeks. And I answered the phone, I said, oh hi, like, blah, blah, blah. And then she says, okay, so why have you rang up the complaint centre? Like, why have you rang up customer service and put a complaint in? I spoke to you last week, I gave you your free resolutions, and you said you was more than happy to have the letter from us and you was going to deal with this with Very, so why are you complaining about us? And I was honestly gobsmacked from how she was speaking to me. I said, are you serious? I said, I ran complaints because I'm not happy with your service, I'm not happy with the resolutions that you're giving me, because I still think this should be flagged up as a manufacturer fault, so that is why I'm carrying on and still speaking to someone. And then anyway, she just wouldn't have it. I don't want to bore you, but it's literally just a case of going back around about the whole story. Weren't accepting obviously liability for the fact that they have a faulty camera. They were just saying it's not a fault. If it was a fault, it'd be picked up on our system. It's not picked up on our system. And you know, even when I was explaining that so many other people are having this problem, they were just sort of shrugging it off and just saying, well, it's not an issue on our system, so it's not an issue. Like, if it's not on our system as an issue, it's not a manufacturer fault. And then I was just saying it was disgusting, and you know, I won't be buying a camera from them again, all that stuff. Weren't bothered, literally was not bothered in the slightest. Yeah, I just said that I will be taking this further, like, you won't hear the last of me. And she was just so rude. I just couldn't get over how rude she was. Effectively, they just wasn't bothered that they was leaving a situation like this in this state. Then asked to speak to someone like above her, and she just was like, I am the superior person here, I am like head of technician, there is no one higher than me. I was like, well, surely you don't own the company, surely there's someone higher than you that I can speak to resolve this. And she was just like, no. And honestly, she was just so rude. So anyway, I ended my conversation with her and just said, look, this won't be the end of it, I'm disgusted by this. And here we are, girls and boys, like here we are, this is where we are at now. I've phoned Very today, and like I said, when I phoned them originally, they were saying that it only gets sent back to Canon, but explained today that obviously all the issues I've been having with Canon, and they said there is actually sort of like a centre at their place where they can send it and have one of their guys look at it and, you know, sort of determine whether it's a manufacturer fault or whatever. So I'm really keeping my fingers crossed that Very can sort this issue out and obviously determine that it is a manufacturer fault. I'm going to send like all the evidence I've got from like numerous people, numerous emails, numerous other people with this issue. So I'm really hoping that they sort it out for me. But other than that, Canon have been nothing but useless, and that's why I really wanted to make this video for you guys. Obviously, I wouldn't want anyone to go through what I've had to go through. You know, £550 is a lot of money, you know, it's not by any means just pocket change that people have nowadays, and it's a lot of money to invest in a camera, and to only have your camera last 6 months and then, you know, have your warranty voided for reasons that are not true, I just find absolutely disgusting from a company. Just disgusting. Well, not only is it disgusting they're voiding warranties, it's disgusting how they're speaking to people on the phone, it's disgusting how you get treated, their customer service, they don't even want to speak to you, they don't ring you back, it's constantly chasing them. So yeah, that's why I really wanted to put this video out, guys. I just don't want anyone to have to go through this. As much as the cameras are attractive to buy, because, you know, I will be honest, they are good cameras, it's not worth it. It honestly isn't worth it, and I definitely won't be buying another Canon. No matter how much I love this camera, I won't be going through that again, because ultimately I want to be buying from a company that are reliable, and when they say you have a warranty, you have a warranty, not a warranty under their terms and they're going to try and void it on any reason possible. Also, I want to be buying from a company where they give you good customer service and they want to keep their customers happy. So I'm also just going to leave some other reviews of various people that have had Canon products and have had problems as well with their service and their company. So here's one: terrible product, no support, poor service by Canon, they do not care about the customers, poor support. Mostly what I've learned was that Canon is not willing to accept responsibility for the issue. Its warranty is returned to basically the customer accepting responsibility for the return. Basically this guy saying that they wouldn't accept the warranty as well. Canon do not respond, Canon ignore my emails, I'm not getting any support from Canon. There is just so many. I couldn't actually believe how many issues and how many people have problems with Canon. I mean, if you've had good support from Canon, then I'm really happy for you, but I'm just telling you about my experience and what service I've had from Canon. And honestly, the only people that was helpful to me was a loan company, which is part of Canon. I think they're like the social team. They were nothing but helpful, obviously trying to get me a camera to use for my filming in the meantime. They were lovely, but other than that, the repair centre, the customer service desk which deals with complaints, they have all been nothing but useless. And yeah, like I said, I just really wanted to film this video just to expose Canon for who they are, because I feel like so many people and so many YouTubers don't really stand up to it because they've just got the pocket change to go and buy another camera. Like, people just think, oh, it's okay, I was going to buy another camera, and that's fair enough, but then no one's actually addressing the issues, no one's actually standing up for the fact that this is an issue that should be resolved in a camera. Like, they're still selling these cameras knowing full well that they are not fitted appropriately, like they are not strong enough to hold the screen. And subsequently, if someone like myself is using this camera on a daily basis to vlog, these screws are not going to hold the screen up, like for a long-term basis. You know, it's even proof in the pudding that they're selling these screws on eBay and Amazon. Like, why would you be selling parts for a camera on eBay if there's no problem? It just doesn't make sense. And like I said, you've seen all the screenshots and all the people that have had issues with these screws themselves, so it's not just me that's like having this issue. So yeah, there we are, we're up to date. I feel so blooming hot now, like, oh god, that was a long one, wasn't it? I'm sorry if I bored you to death, but I really just want to sometimes use my platform to speak out about these things. And like I said, I've only done this review purely to help other people. I just honestly just would advise you to steer away from Canon. Look at Sony. Like, Sony do some really nice cameras. Panasonic, I'm going to look at them as well, I think, for my next camera. And also, if you guys do have recommendations for a new camera for myself, please let me know. I'm currently just using a loan camera at the moment, so yeah, if you do have any recommendations of good cameras that I could use, please let me know. That'd be so useful to me. And like I said, no Canons please, because I do not want to go near that company ever again. So yeah, I really hope you have enjoyed this video. Well, it's not really a video to enjoy, it's just a little update, but please remember to subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and if you're new here to my channel. And yeah, just see you all in my next video. Bye bye.